Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another beer review. Tonight's beer, unfortunately, is slightly out of date, just slightly by like 2 months, as in 2nd of the 9th, but that's fine. This is one that I've kind of found at the back of the cupboard, and it's such a shame because this is a Saison, a Citra Saison by Partizan, from down in London. If you've seen my other reviews of Partizan beers, I really like these guys and really enjoyed their pale ales. So it's a crying shame, and I've got no one to blame but myself for leaving this one so long. I was just talking to a friend of mine, Matt, actually. He works at Hop Studio as well, but he's up learning at Heriot Watt at the moment. That I've got loads of stuff in the garage, a nice cool garage that I haven't got my hands on. Loads of nice pale ales that I've just been, for the longest time, I just keep topping up my beer supply, never getting around to them. This being one of them, and it's a shame that I haven't got around to it. So, without further ado, let's crack it open. I'm pretty sure it'll be darned gorgeous, to be honest, because Partizan have never put a foot wrong so far. So, Saison beers, or Bière de Garde. Ooh! Hey! You could say this one has bottle conditioned very nicely. Oh my god, it is gushing. Right, well, we'll leave that gush. That's probably why it's out of date, or the best before date's gone by, I should say, because it is still going. It'll get there eventually. Right, let's talk about Saisons while we're waiting for that to go down. Saisons are that kind of unusual style of beer because they've been created over generations in a certain area, like northeast France and Belgium. They use a special type of Saison yeast, sometimes use a blend of yeasts, quite estery, produce quite a lot of Belgian style flavour, shall we say. They're usually concoctions, or historically they're concoctions from farmhouses. They would each brew their own beer for drinking in the harvest months, and they flavour them with different spices and herbs and bits and bobs. So we can expect something a little bit... It's still going. It's still an absolute gusher. It's amazing, isn't it? Well, cool. So, yeah, so this one's obviously done with Citra, which is one of my favourite hops as well. Expecting passion fruit and tropical notes in abundance with this one, light cheese, things like that, which should complement Saison yeast quite well, I would think. Essentially, a Saison really is just a spiced pale ale using a special type of yeast, if we're going to go into technicalities, I suppose. Right, well, this is still going, it's still gushing, so I'm just going to try and pour it and see if I can salvage the beer at least. Yeah, it's much better. Right, cool, there we go. So, poured out, we have a nice hazy beer there, because I'm assuming it's bottle conditioned by the extreme explosion, but again, you'd kind of expect this with the style. It's a lovely stroke colour as well, really nice and super pale yellow, tiny little bit of amber in it maybe, and there is a nice little head that doesn't seem to be lacing, but it is sticking around, and as you can tell there's probably a lot of carbonation in this one, as it's been gushing everywhere. So let's get a nose and get a smell, if I can't smell it already, which I tell you I can. Oh yeah, it has that Belgian estery smells. It's the super fruity, florally notes, and then you have, and it is just the absolute citra extracts from the hop. I can smell mangoes and passion fruit and lychees and peaches, and almost like a white wine kind of vinous thing on the nose. Like it is. Oh, I didn't mention ABV actually, because it's relatively strong. It's 7.3%, and I think I can just about, especially when I breathe in, it's almost got a white wine note to it. I think it's like a little bit of the alcohol twinging on the nose and the really tart grapefruity smell coming from this. So yeah, actually, the head's gone now. It's probably lost a lot of its carbonation in all the gushing, but it smells absolutely blowing gorgeous. Been looking forward to this one since I got it out of the fridge about 10 minutes ago to warm up slightly. So let's get into it, give it a shot. Cheers everybody. Oh yeah. First things first, really full-on carbonation. I mean, it's like stripping through the tongue, but I think it's probably because I've overaged it a bit in the garage. Who knows? Very subdued, but also quite nice and pleasant, light, very light biscuit and a kind of lager malty flavours at the forefront. And then you get a quite strong bitterness with this, actually. It kind of adds in with a very strong carbonation. That's probably my fault, I keep saying it, but and then after that you get a wash of those Citra hop flavours, and it is just like a fantastic example of the Citra hops. I maybe thought the Belgian ale yeast would play a bit more prominent role, and you definitely do get spiciness, and you get a kind of peppery flavour at the back of the mouth that kind of resides there in the aftertaste. And I'm sure the Saison yeast is helping out, and I'm sure it is merging very well. It's probably the perfect marriage, to be honest, with Citra. If I think about those kind of Belgian aromatic flavours that you expect to get from a yeast, and then think of the Saisons that you have, the hops, a Citra hop is very similar to what I would expect to get from a Saison yeast. So it actually complements really well, and you get a very nice, quite balanced but also very full-on in flavour beer here. The mouthfeel is nice and quite light. The carbonation probably doesn't help much, but it does. It does add to the mouthfeel, yeah, it does add, and it definitely feels like you're drinking something. You get that nice malt flavour, you get this wonderful wonderful astringent bitterness that then gets sweeter towards the end with the hop flavours, and the yeast flavours seem to open up and just eke out of the beer. So this is really nice, actually. This is really nice. The only thing that I could probably say I'm not too huge on in this is I maybe think the bitterness is a tiny bit too much, because it's getting to the point where it's getting almost tart. The bitterness is getting almost tart on the tongue. As such, though, this is still like a flipping brilliant 9 out of 10. I can't. You know, this is great. It's a shame that why didn't I just notice this? And it's been sat there, kind of in plain sight as well, as I kind of stack my beers, so the oldest ones are kind of near the front, if you catch my drift. So I tend to grab at them, but just in all the wonderness of getting Jens beer mail from Germany, I've just kind of left it at the back, and it just kept missing it. So yeah, this is a lovely beer, another great one by Partizan. You can see in the bottle, it still really wants to get out of this bottle. It's extremely well carbonated. So yeah, fantastic job once again, Partizan. Love it. Partizan Saison with Citra, brilliant. So like, favourite, comment, subscribe, all the usual gubbins. Until the next beer review, cheers.